So, first topic today after trailer reactions is all about Ice Cube and his refusal to do a film if he has to take the COVID vaccine.
This comes to us via the Hollywood Reporter. It says Ice Cube exits Sony comedy Oh Hell No after declining COVID-19 vaccine. The Sony film, which stars Jack Black, had been set to shoot this winter in Hawaii. Ooh. I could do it with Hawaii right now.
9 million and Hawaii.
Yeah. Ice Cube has departed Sony's upcoming comedy Oh Hell No, in which he could have co-starred with Jack Black after declining a request from producers to get vaccinated, sources tell the Hollywood Reporter. Sony had no comment. A personal representative for the star declined to comment. WME, his agency, declined to comment. Oh Hell No is being produced by Matt Tomac and Black, who both did not offer a comment. Bloody hell, no one wants to say shit.
Okay.
Ice Cube and Black partnered on the project in June. The Sony film was looking to shoot this winter in Hawaii with Kitao Sakurai, the filmmaker behind Netflix breakout comedy Bad Trip, in the director's seat. Producers on Oh Hell No made the request that cast on the projects would need to be vaccinated. The film is pushing back its production start. Black injured himself in June while filming a gag for the last episode of Conan, but is still attached to the projects. Sources tell the Hollywood Reporter the studio is looking to find a replacement for Ice Cube, who walked from a $9 million payday. Throughout the pandemic, Ice Cube has been promoting mask wearing. In August, Bacone College in Oklahoma thanked the star and others for a donation of 2,000 face masks to use as personal protective equipment. In April 2020, amid COVID-19 lockdowns, he unveiled Check Yourself Before You Wreck Yourself, love that tune, branded t-shirts
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
featuring the star in a mask, in partnership with the manufacturer Blackout, which with proceeds to benefit frontline health workers. I don't think I need to read the rest.
You don't need to read it anymore.
So guys, what do we think about this? Let me give you the floor, Leon, first.
Oh, thanks. I think, first of all, we need to know about Ice Cube. He promotes safety. That he does promote that.
Yeah.
Now, he hasn't come out and confirmed that's the story. That's nobody's come out and confirmed.
But that,
Sony hasn't confirmed.
But that in itself usually is a confirmation.
Yeah, because he would have come out straight away and said, I'm not.
I actually think Ice Cube would say, if he's not doing it for a certain reason. Ice Cube's never been one to hold his mouth.
Yeah.
No matter what.
But what you need to understand is the current climate. There's a big backlash against anyone who doesn't want to get vaccinated. I mean, you can even watch John Campion's show when he talks about people not getting vaccinated, and he'll say they're being unresponsible to the public and blah, 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 blah.
Listen, I know Ice Cube. And once nothing's been confirmed, it's speculation. He's walked out on a previous film.
Yeah.
Why? Does anyone know? He never confirmed why. He never, he does stuff like this.
But the difference here is they're actually saying
Who's saying?
Well, there's a source and it's in. Remember where it's from? The Hollywood Reporter. The Hollywood Reporter are not going to put out something.
I'm not saying.
No. Let me finish. The Hollywood. It's not coming from we got this covered, or as John Campion would say, Gus's gas station .fart net. Whatever, right? It's coming from the Hollywood Reporter. The Hollywood Reporter does not put out stuff they cannot confirm.
First of all, you asked my opinion.
Yeah.
So I'm saying it
okay,
first.
go on.
Yeah.
Go on.
Right. So in my experience,
right.
Yeah. First of all, going back, Ice Cube doesn't say he does what he wants. He does what he wants. So I'm not saying someone ain't trying to spin a line or spin a story. I don't believe that the Hollywood Reporter are making up stuff. Somebody's told them that. Somebody's told them that, and that would be an absolutely brilliant story.
No, but it would have to be that. This is what. Why is it that we only report stories from certain trades? It's because no one can just go up to them and say, "This is a story you want to hear." They have to verify that source. So when 9 times out of 10, when the Hollywood Reporter, Variety, and Deadline get a story, they verify it through various sources. So if that source has come to them, they verified it through this source who knows Ice Cube, that source who knows the studio, and so on and so forth. Before they.
All right, let me tell you one thing.
Go on.
Nobody can tell me about Larry Olubamiwo
Yeah.
until he tells me.
Yeah, but that's
So
different.
no, but
That's different.
no, but what I'm saying is, you might have a source. It could be your missus. It could be someone
But
else.
you know me personally,
Right.
So that's different.
No,
that is that's
No.
apple and oranges.
No, but me personally,
Yeah.
if someone's talking about somebody,
Yeah.
I need you to come with that. I can't make that assumption.
But that's a personal relationship that you have.
No,
with me.
but I'm saying Sony haven't confirmed or denied.
Right.
Ice Cube
So
is agent.
this is my point. When a story like that comes out where they're basically saying that this is why you've walked away from a, he doesn't have to say why he walked away, but at least he can say that is not the reason why I walked away, and that's the end of that. He didn't do that, and usually when they don't do that, that means that is a confirmation.
But he did it before.
No, but we're not talking about before.
No, we are.
Because no, because that's different circumstances.
No, but he didn't say why.
There was no COVID involved.
But he didn't
and
say
no one,
why.
No, but no one then said this is why you.
But
walked
he
away.
didn't say why.
No, listen. Did anyone in that time say this is why you walked away from the movie?
No, but you said
No. I'm saying to you, I'm asking you a question. Did someone or any source say this is why you walked away from that movie?
Yes.
What did they say?
I can't remember. No, but they did. They said there was a reason. There was a reason. Yeah, you need to chill out.
You need to come in and interject between two for a second.
Because we have to come with different. It's not the same circumstances.
Right. The reason I'm going to cut in.
Nothing's ever going to be the same.
Just, I'm hearing both of your points. Okay. The reason you've both got valid points, and the reason you've also both arguing against points that are strong from both of you is this. Okay. Number one. Yes, Ice Cube hasn't come out and said that's the reason why, and there could be a multitude of reasons why.
Right.
But also, to Larry's point, it's not like if you come to Larry and you say, "I need to hear from you first as a personal thing." You're not earning any money off of doing that. The Hollywood Reporter, they make their money off reporting the truth. It wouldn't be it wouldn't be within their financial benefit to report something this bogus in this climate.
But I'm not saying it's bogus.
I'm
saying somebody sold the story.
Someone sold it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I would say there's probably a 99% truth rate to it being possible. There is a possibility it could be wrong, but there is a 99% truth rate it could be right.
Always a possibility.
The other reason I say it is because Campia touched on this, and I've also read a few other articles that mentioned it. When he's been doing his rallies about COVID, because he's been very vocal and the public about wearing masks, everything else. The one thing he hasn't spoken about is vaccines.
Yeah.
He's spoken about every other aspect of protecting yourself, social distancing, wearing a mask, doing your due diligence, making sure you're testing yourself. The one thing he hasn't been vocal about is that, which would lead me to believe, okay, there might be some truth to this.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I'm kind of veering towards there's a possible truth in that.
Well, the truth will out. The truth will out. Or maybe not. And then we could just live in that conspiracy world.
Okay, so let's assume.
I don't make assumptions.
Let's assume. Let's assume.
I don't know enough to make assumptions.
Let's assume.
You can assume.
Let's assume.
Yeah, you two
that
assume.
he walked away.
Are you assuming? He's not assuming either.
No, I'm trying.
Only Larry's assuming.
I'm posing a hypothetical question. Yeah.
Well, not hypothetical.
If he has walked away from the movie, what do we think about him walking away from the 9 million? I mean, personally, I don't. He's a rich man already, so
he doesn't need enough.
I don't think he needs
you can do a lot with it for other people. If you haven't,
he's not going to be starving. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean? He's not going to be starving. But what do you think about him
walking away from 9 million?
9 million. I mean, listen. What do you think?
Right. I can answer this on a precarious standpoint.
Answer it however you want to answer it.
Answer it.
So, right. My personal feelings on the vaccine, I haven't been vaccinated. I'm a teacher. I work in a school with 90% of staff that have been. I haven't been. I've got personal reasons, which is not to do with nanobites being injected into your skin and all that crap. That's go stop smoking crack. All right, stop that. But I've got personal reasons for it, and that's the reason I haven't yet. In regards to would I decline if someone offered me 9 million, I'd probably rethink it very quickly. I'm not going to lie. But to Larry's point, he doesn't need the money. Could he have taken the 9 million and given it to one of his charitable causes? Yes, he could. But is there a deeper reason, to Leon's point, that he's walked away other than just the vaccine? Did he have an issue on set with Jack Black? Is it with Sony? If there been contract negotiations that he's not adhered to or not agreed with, and then they're spinning it by saying, oh, it's because of the vaccination. And he's can't say anything because it's a contractual issue with Sony that he's got an issue with, and he can't come forward and say what the real reason is why he's walked away. So,
I think, me personally, it's too simple for it to be one thing.
It could be a myriad of things.
Yeah.
It is a possibility.
That's where I'm coming from.
It is a possibility. I'm not saying that couldn't be a possibility. Of course, it can be a possibility because as right as the Hollywood Reporter usually is, they have on occasion got it wrong. So I'm not 100%. I'm not saying that you're.
I just think when you're at that status, you can make nonchalant things. Like he might just say, "Nah, I don't want to."
Yeah.
He might just say, "Nah, I don't want to." Like, because what's 9 million? Dave Chappelle walked away from 50 million. You know, like, what's 9 million to someone that has been rich? Let's say 90% of his life, or 80% of his life.
How long was it before Chappelle came out with the reasons why he walked away?
About 2 years. He disappeared, didn't he? Didn't he disappear for years?
But when was it he mentioned the reason why he walked away? Was it straight
No,
after?
he mentioned
it was about 2 years
No,
later.
it wasn't 2 years later because he mentioned it while he was in Africa. He actually mentioned it while, so it was a few months later.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we just never saw him properly. He never came back to mainstream.
Because all of a sudden they said they're not moving forward with another season of the Chappelle Show, and they wouldn't say why. Do you know what I mean? And then a few months later he came out and said this is the reason why. So I mean I take Leon's point that it's not a definite that's true, but when you connect the dots, I would be inclined to believe that's true. Now to Damien's point, I don't if it is true, I don't begrudge the guy his opinion or his reasons for not getting it, because I haven't been vaccinated. Now I've had COVID twice, and so I have natural immunity. This is what a lot of people tend to forget about with people that have had COVID as well. Natural immunity is actually just as good or even better than what you get with the vaccine.
Had it once.
Right. So, but then to Damien's point, would I turn down 9 million for not getting the vaccine? Hell no. Hell no. I'll take that vaccine and love it. Because
if you was rich, you wouldn't.
No, I'm talking about myself.
Okay,
I'm talking about me.
Yeah.
I would take it and love it and get my 9 mil because I want to secure my family's future. You know? So, but that's me. Listen, whoever, I don't begrudge anyone their opinion. Same. Whatever you believe or you know, whatever you want to do, cool. I'm just telling you my perspective. That's it. And my job is to secure my family's future. That's more important to me than anything. So for me, I'll take in that 9 mil and I'll take the shot in the shoulder. Is it the shoulder they give it now? Is it the shoulder?
In the arm, yeah.
Okay. I'll take it.
What did you think it was before?
I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm just making sure, you know. But yeah, I would take it. But yeah, like, to everyone's point, I mean, listen, he's a rich man. He's a very rich man.
Yeah,
so,
he's in a position to be nonchalant about whatever. Yeah. He could say, "I'm not cutting my toenails. 9 million. I'm walking away." It's like, do you know what I mean? Like, because
he's a very rich man. Yeah. So you know, he doesn't need the 9 mil.
Yeah.
But
my sideburns, get the fuck out of here.
I'm gonna be like listening to this story and waiting to see what pops up next to see. You know what's true and what's not, because so don't be surprised if we have an update for you on this story.
If there's an update, we'll be on it.
You know us.
All over it.
So what do you think?
Someone's got to eat some motherfucking humble pie. One of us have to.
I'll be serving it. I want to be eating it.
And they don't want it to be me. They don't want it to be me.
So Ice Cube, if you're watching, change the reason why.
Tell me, change the reason. Change the reason. Say it because you're black.
Anyway.
It's because Jack Black's last name is Black.
That's
Black. How dare you have a black name?
Oh, for crying out loud. Anyway, guys,
Yeah.
please let us know your reason why you either believe that's the reason Ice Cube walked away or you don't believe that's the reason Ice Cube walked away. And would you walk away from 9mm if you had to get the vaccine? Please let us know in the comments down below.
I'm gonna press the button, man. Right, press it. Moving on. You know my name. It's the Leon Rock. But we're gonna go on to another Rock. But he made up the name Rock. I inherited the name. Yeah. His name, Dwayne Johnson. Yeah. So let's speak about Dwayne. So Dwayne pledges to stop real guns, isn't it? Yeah. Real guns being used in his productions.
Following the tragedy on Rust.
Yeah. So you know, if you saw our other video, you will know that a tragedy occurred.
Yeah, with the shooting of the Howner Hutchins.
Yeah.
And the DP, and the killing of the director. So the injury of the director by the accident with Alec Baldwin shooting the gun, so this comes to us via Variety, and it says that Dwayne Johnson's new movie for Netflix, Red Notice, stars 3 of the biggest celebrities on the planet, Johnson, Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot, and is one of many Hollywood films that feature our firearms for the sake of action-packed storylines. Red Notice, which launches on a streaming service on November 12th, followed very careful safety protocols on set, as most productions do. But after the tragic death of cinematographer Howner Hutchins on Alec Baldwin's film Rust, Johnson is pledging to stop using real firearms on all projects that are produced by his company, 7 Bucks Productions. It says, first of all, I was heartbroken. Johnson began speaking to Variety on Wednesday night at the premiere of Red Notice in Los Angeles. We lost a life. My heart goes out to her, family, and everybody on set. I have known Alec too for a very long time. Johnson, who has to handle firearms in Red Notice, says he will only use rubber guns on his sets and will enforce that rule with any studio he's working with. I can't speak for anyone else, but I can tell you without an absence of clarity here that any movie that we have moving forward with 7 Bucks Productions, any movie, any TV show, or anything we do or produce, we won't use real guns at all, Johnson said to Variety. So that's pretty much it. I'm not surprised with this news. I'm going to go first this time. I'm not surprised with this news because if you know anything about The Rock, he is very adverse to risk on sets. And what I mean by that is even the smallest stunt he will not do. I know this because I've spoken to a lot of stunt performers who've worked with him, and he will not produce anything that has any bit of danger. He will not do, and that is not a slight on him whatsoever. I'm just telling you what has been relayed to me by reliable people, and I don't blame him. I mean, set is can be a dangerous place, especially depending on what films you're partaking in. And at the end of the day, he's an actor. He's not a stuntman, and you want to mitigate as much risk as possible being an actor because that is the stuntman's job. That's what the stuntman gets paid for. So I don't blame him for doing that at all. He has a family. He wants to be safe and go back to that family. I'm all for him doing that. And So with that in mind, him using rubber guns on set would continue in that vein of keeping himself and everyone else on set safe. And obviously they'll be using CG to add to the effects, which we discussed in the other video that was much needed. So I think this is great news. I'm very happy to hear it, and happy that his productions going forward will be even safer than they were before. So Damien, I put this to you. What do you think of this news?
The one thing that jumps out at me straight away is the whole out, because when I initially heard the article, I only thought it was going to be $7 Productions that was going to be working on. The fact that he's come forward and been quoted as I would enforce it on any production I'm a part of, I'm like, that tells you, or tells me straight away, how much sway The Rock has in Hollywood. Like I knew he was Mr. Hollywood to a degree. I didn't know how big he was when things Larry just mentioned I wasn't aware of. But the fact that he's actually able to have that much say in any production he's in, like no matter who the production company is, I'm not doing this. That tells me that he's going to be able to possibly get things moving. When I initially read it, I was like, I'm hoping he's not just jumping on, you know, the more higher ground by going, look, let me get some more people loving me by saying this, and I'm hoping he's not. One thing the article did say was, and he's quoted in the interview, was 2 hours after he heard about it, he phoned his production company and said, look, how do we stop doing this? If that's true, then that leads me to believe he's doing this from a genuine place.
Oh, I personally think he is. Like I said, I've heard from several, and we know several stunt people in high level movies, and they consistently tell me that he will not do the smallest. I think there was one film where he had to literally just walk across ice, and he refused to do it. He refused to do it. You know what I mean? And he just get the stuntman in. That's what the stuntman's there for. And I don't blame him. I don't listen. Anything can happen. And at the end of the day, he's not getting paid to assume that risk.
That's not what risk with wrestling.
Right, that was a
risk his life
every time he jumped through his cage.
100%.
That was his stunt work. Over.
That's it. Done. He doesn't have nothing to prove. He doesn't, and he's getting paid to act, not do stunts. This is the bottom line. You know what I mean? So why should he risk himself and not see his family? And as a new father, I understand that. I understand that completely. You know what I mean? So I throw it over to you, Leon. What do you think about that news?
No, I think it's a good thing, but what else is he gonna say? He runs a production company, and he's Mr. Hollywood. Like, what else is he gonna say? Like, you got to be smart about it. So first of all, if they know The Rock's doing that, say The Rock's part of another production, they'll know we can't have that on set.
Right.
So he's securing himself on what he does.
So,
as much as I hate to be a bit of a cynic, I just think, why wouldn't you say that? If we had a production company and we're The Rock, it's like, no, we're not doing it either. But like for The Rock especially, I don't blame him for not doing his own stunts. I'm no Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise does a bag of stunts, but that's his thing. And he gets off on it and he loves it. But The Rock, all it takes is one fall, your back's gone.
That's it.
You're finished. You're absolutely finished.
He approaches it almost like a fighter sometimes, in the sense that fighters, obviously, they will go and take certain things to get their injuries rehabilitated quicker. With him, it's like, if I get hurt doing a stunt, that's 3 or 4 productions I can't do for
and he's a busy actor right now.
He's every other month.
He literally must go straight from this production straight into another production and straight into another. He doesn't. He is so prolific.
Black Adam to this, to that.
He's so prolific. It's like he thinks, if I stop working, I'm going to die, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
think he's also very aware that he's got a small window of opportunity. Like, by the time he hits 60, he can't be going and doing these big...
Well, a lot of people are... me and Leon do anyway. I don't know if you watch it, but More Plates, More Dates touches on this. He actually touched on this. He said that at his age, with the amount of muscle mass that he's carrying, so which means the obvious use of PEDs that he's pushing, he's taking it a bit too far for his age. because he is literally at the biggest and most ripped that he's ever been at near 50 years old or at 50.
Right.
The Rock.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at that age, you should be winding it down, not getting
You got
to
to
your
back.
peak.
No.
Because you're not at that age where you can get away with
You try to keep the peak you had
abuse.
from when you're 35.
Right,
and maintain
right.
that.
Not
Yeah.
blasting through it at 50. You know,
You got to come down.
You got to come down.
Got to come down.
You've got to. You've got to. I mean, it doesn't have to be a lot down, but you have to. You can't just keep. Otherwise, like you said, you know, you said it right, Damien. You got a limited window of opportunity.
There's a window.
And I think he just wants to take full advantage of it. But you know, I think he's mitigating risk, because obviously, even with the PED use, alleged PED use, should I say,
Could be chicken and broccoli.
he would obviously. It's The Rock.
Yeah.
Rich, has doctors on staff monitoring him.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
So-
if he is still getting bigger at 50, that guy's got so much money, I wouldn't be surprised if he owns like 3 or 4 physicians.
Oh yeah,
that are
without a doubt.
They're literally like, right, this is what you take and no one else takes. All right?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. You know what I mean? And constantly getting imaging and blood work and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I'll take your point, man. Is there anything you wanted else to say? You know?
No, I mean, going back to the whole gun thing, like if it does, again, if it's coming from a genuine place, then I'm all for it. I mean, we said this before in the last one. We were surprised that Real Gun was on set in the first place, like, especially in this day and age. So yeah, if it's a genuine thing from him, then I'm 100% behind it. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, Leon. In I know you've already kind of answered it, but generally speaking, like in his with his status, and you were in his shoes, not only would you do this, but would you do what he has been said to do by people that I know?
I would do everything he's doing.
Right.
Everything he's doing.
Right.
Everything.
And I agree.
Everything.
I agree.
You know what? At the
I
end of the
agree.
day, someone could say to you tomorrow, Larry, like, I want you to do this film.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you £1 million, but you have to do your own stunts.
Yeah.
Because of the position you're in, you're going to take it.
Yeah.
You're going to take it.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to.
He doesn't need
He
to.
doesn't need to.
No.
And if I don't have to take a risk, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Why am I doing it?
Yeah.
But if I have to take a risk, I have to take a risk.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
took risks for years in the
Oh, yeah,
ring.
yeah.
More risk than any fighter. Because it's so choreographed and the high flying and the anything can happen to them.
Yeah.
And they
None
died.
of them broke
We
their
know
necks.
they died.
Yeah.
None of them broke their necks.
Yeah.
None of them have died
Yeah.
in the ring. You know, he's not having no more risk. So I think we obviously view things slightly different. And that's because we're from the UK. So gun, you know, like if I go into a set, say I go down to the BBC and we got some like guns or whatever, not for a second would I think it's real. Like not for a second.
Yeah.
And I think we have to get out of that mindset and remember this is America.
Yeah.
You know, whereas, you know, I'm not going to get shot doing Doctor Who.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen. Even a film,
yeah.
even a high budget film that's in this country.
That's the production is here. That's not gonna happen.
There's no guns.
That's true.
There's no guns. But
That's
over
true.
there, because they're like, it's nothing. People legally can open carry, and this. It's a different world. It's
It
a world
is a
that
different
I
world.
don't know.
Listen, when
You
I
know it.
because I've told this story to both of you. I mean, when I was in LA one time, I've gone to their version of JD Sports.
Yeah.
I've walked in. On the left hand side, there's all these nice trainers. I'm looking at them, and to the right hand side, there's guns.
In
And I'm
JD Sports.
not. It's crazy. I'm not used to that, so I automatically.
I
I'm not.
wouldn't expect to see a gun and a Nike. Like, here's a new shoe. You can run with it while carrying a
You
shotgun.
know what I mean?
I'm not-
I'm looking at these guns and I'm like, nah, they can't be real. They can't be real. Because I'm not used to it. So
Yeah.
I've gone to ask the shop, the guy behind the counter, oh, these guns ain't real, are they? And he was like, well, of course they are. Like, he looked at me like I was an idiot. You know what I mean? And I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
So I said, anyone could just walk in and buy a gun. He was like, yeah. That's how, and as to Leon's point, that's how
It's
easy it
just
is
the
to buy a
world we're
gun.
not from.
In the States,
Yeah.
just walk into any place that you want to buy trainers from, and purchase them, But what do you think about The Rock making this decision for his production company, any production that he works with, to only use rubber guns? Are you for it? Are you against it? And what do you think about The Rock not really doing stunts himself?
Yeah.
Like, what do you think of that? I mean, personally, we all think he's had his risks wrestling.
Yeah.
So I think he's entitled to do that. So let us know in the comments down below what you think. Right, our final topic is my favorite.
Numbers and stats.
All right, because I'm in the movie Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Look at his face. Where do you think we'll stop hearing about this?
Never!
Only when he becomes Luke Cage.
Yeah, that's
Okay, yeah.
When he becomes
you
Luke
got me
Cage,
on that
yeah.
one. You got me on
You'll
that
never
one.
hear Venom again.
Be like, what? Venom?
Right.
Some other guy.
This is the news that Venom Let There Be Carnage has gone past 400 mil at the global box office, which is fantastic considering we're in a pandemic right now. This comes to us via Deadline, and it says that Sony's Venom Let There Be Carnage has crossed the $400 million worldwide mark, grossing 191.6 mil domestically and 212.5 mil at the international box office for a $404.1 million coup through Tuesday. This makes the Andy Serkis directed sequel the fifth Hollywood movie to top the 4-century worldwide milestone since the beginning of the pandemic, which is quite significant.
Yeah.
And it still has major markets to come, which is brilliant. The Tom Hardy starer has been on a rampage ever since it debuted domestically on October 1st, going on to a $90.1 million opening weekend, which is the second best ever for the month of October. Overseas, that same weekend, Let There Be Carnage went out early with Russia devouring a 13.8 million start, the market's best debut for any film during the health crisis, and Sony's biggest opening day ever. The current Russia gross is $31.4 million, making Venom 2 the number 8 film of all time. Bloody hell. The following weekend, the symbiote traveled to Latin America, where a 20 million start was the best for the region during the pandemic. And then a week later, when offshore rollout was expanded to 41% of its international footprint, Venom set more pandemic records in Spain and Italy, while it also energized Korea with the second best bow for a Hollywood title in the pandemic era. In total, it has launched at number 1 in 39 markets. That's
saying something.
That's really good, man. In other notable achievements, Venom Let There Be Carnage is the second biggest movie of the pandemic era in Mexico, Brazil, Italy, Colombia, Ukraine, Central America, Argentina, and Ecuador. As of this past Sunday, Venom 2 was tracking ahead of pandemic era comps Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Black Widow, and F9 at the same point in release in like-for-like markets. There has been no official word on a China release, though the last film gobbled up, get this, $269 million in the market. Australia is the next major market on November 25th, followed by Japan on December 3rd.
That's a long run for different release.
Yeah, it's this pandemic has screwed it up.
Why are we so far apart?
Yeah,
It's just the pandemic. It's just
you
the way
know,
everything's worked
The
out.
thing is, they would make more money if it all came out at the same
Yeah,
time.
because obviously pirates.
and all them.
Yeah, I know, but I think it's just I mean, it would have released in these markets at different times anyway,
But
you
not
know,
that stretched
but not
out.
that stretched out exactly because of the whole pandemic thing. And like you said, Leon, it obviously people are going to stream it, are going to copy it, and it's good. You know, they are going to lose a bit of money that way as well.
But I still think you need to go cinema.
Have you seen it yet?
What's that?
Venom.
No.
How dare you?
I know.
How dare you? How bloody dare you?
I'm sorry.
How dare you, Liam?
I'm
How
sorry.
dare you?
I'm sorry.
He doesn't go see his friend in a movie.
I know.
Anyway, no more shall be said about that. But
Just make sure you fall asleep for that.
no, but I mean, it's. I think the fact that they say no official word on the China release has been mentioned. I think that says that it will be released in China at some point, because China are very vocal when a film's not going to be released.
Yeah,
in
they'll
China.
say, no, it's not coming.
Like Shang-Chi,
Yeah.
like Eternals.
Yeah.
They said straight away, no, that's not getting released here.
Do we know why?
Yeah, because Chloe Zhao made some comments.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's it.
And it's, Shang-Chi, Simu Liu made some comments. So, you know, China are very sensitive like that. So let's, So I don't think Venom 2 has anything to worry about. I mean, if they can get anywhere, even if they get half of that, what they earned in the first Venom.
Half anyway.
Well, no, I mean, if they earn for half of the 269 mil that they got in China for the first one, that they've done well.
Yeah,
they've done
still
well.
Be hitting near. I mean, once it gets Australia, everything else, and
Australia,
Japan.
Japan.
You're looking at probably 6 to 6.5.
Yeah,
So
six. I mean, and I always said, do you remember? I said to both of you before the film got released, if it got 400 to 500 mil,
It's done well.
It's done well.
Yeah.
Because of the era.
It's gonna hit that, yeah.
It's definitely going to hit that and probably surpass that.
They did the right thing, though, didn't they?
Yeah.
By holding it.
Yeah,
until the right moment.
Yeah, 100%, because
they could have dropped it and like streaming or something, and
they
wouldn't have made this kind of money.
No, hell no.
But they were waiting for the big payout.
But they knew everyone was waiting for this movie. Do you know what I mean? They knew. They knew. Especially like the first. This is why the first one made stupid money that no one, even the most hardened Venom fan, did not think that a Venom movie was going to make 856 million at the box office. No one thought that. That was a complete shock to everyone, right? And therefore, you knew that Sony was thinking, in this sequel, before the pandemic hit, we're going to make $1 billion. It's a logical, extrapolation. And obviously, with the pandemic, those thoughts were kiboshed. So, if they've already surpassed what I thought they could make, if they can hit 600 million, I mean, because they are going to make a Venom 3, so it only.
I think they'll match it.
With Venom 3? I think they make $1 billion with barring
no.
I'm
I'm saying Venom 2. You wait for them, Japan, Australia. I think they're gonna.
Well, if China, because remember we read about China, the Shanghai Disney, so there's still some restrictions going on. It might not be as many people going to the cinema as,
Are the restrictions?
I can see it possibly hitting 6.5. Max.
Yeah, I could see, 6.5. All of this, what would you just think about this in general? And does it, because you're the only one that hasn't seen it. You've seen it, right? Oh my God. I'll get me coat.
Did we not do a review about it, or we'd seen it?
You went together.
Okay.
He's a bit tired today. He's a bit tired today.
Yes.
You see him?
You got no excuse.
Blood.
Sit down.
Listen, we came in. He's miserable.
As sin.
Because I am tired from work.
I've been work.
This is why you need to subscribe, people. Please. Subscribe. So we can do this
like
full
working
time.
12-hour days
and then we can be happy and jovial. Anyway.
If he's that jovial, then I may not want to subscribe as well.
No.
He needs to keep working.
And then me and Leo don't have to keep saying, we got these cheeseburgers, man.
Subscribe and then I'll show you the cheeseburgers.
Yeah, man, but
get me a quote, damn it.
Yeah, so
you make your own damn quote. You read that off.
Yes, I did.
What do you think, Damien, about all this?
Well, I think when I finally get to see it, because apparently I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, sorry about that.
But as I said before, I reckon it's going to push a 6.5. If it hits China earlier than New Year's, to Leon's point, I think it could possibly go for 7.
Yeah.
7.5. But I think it's dependent on when it hits China.
Yeah, but it all depends on the restrictions, isn't it? When they lift the restrictions.
So it's based on obviously China's policies right now, and then obviously the time when it gets released. If it goes before Christmas, I reckon it could do. If it comes in the new year, I just think there won't be as much interest for it.
No.
I think it's too long out by that point.
It will be out everywhere.
Yeah.
So
do naughty behaviours.
Yeah, so you think it's going to hit.
I think it will hit 6.5, 7. I think it will get there.
Okay.
But yeah, either way, Venom 3 is just gonna blow out the sky.
Oh, 100%.
Because the only reason this would, if everything being everything, this would have beat Venom 1.
Oh yeah. It would have
Hands down.
It would have made a billion.
Yeah.
And see, I was originally on the
Hands
fence
down.
about it because I'm not saying to you, I don't think Venom 2 will do as well as the first one because I didn't like the first one as much because of the issues I had with it.
Yeah,
It
so
was
you were
only
biased.
when I went. No, I wasn't biased. Man.
You were
How was I
biased.
biased? How was I biased?
Because you did not like the first
Let
film.
me finish my
Okay,
point.
go on,
Finish my
go on,
point, right?
go on.
It was when I watched the making of it and I heard about the fact that they went away. Tom Hardy said, "We learned from the mistake." And his words, "We learned from the mistakes of the first film. We went away." He worked on the script of it as well because he's got a script writing credit on this one. He got Andy Serkis on board. We know what that did for the film.
We know what he can
Standpoint,
do, yeah.
And then the fact they cut it down to 90 minutes, the pacing came up. The people that got on board, not to knock anything with Riz Ahmed, who's a great actor, but obviously the villain that he had in the first one didn't pull.
Very
people
one-dimensional.
but it didn't pull the audience that Carnage was going to pull.
Yeah.
So they had the right thing with having the right villain to pull the right audience.
Yeah.
Then obviously they've made changes in what they've done. So I think that has definitely helped it. And the reviews of it obviously coming out double what they had last time has helped it as well. But also I think the film came out at the right time because people were slowly going back to cinema. Shang-Chi was starting to break records.
Yeah, we were ready.
Well, do you remember they brought it up when after Shang-Chi got released and they saw how much it made in its first weekend in the box office?
Yeah.
They brought up the date instead of saying it was end of
September. wasn't it?
End of September, yeah.
So they realized that people were going back to the cinema and they were going to make some money out of it.
So I think there's a lot of moving parts to why this has done what it's done. Because I think had they not have worked on the mistakes, had they just gone away and just done the sequel and not worked on making it a better film than the first one, I don't think it would have done. Because I think word of mouth would have been, you know what, the films weren't that great. Preferred the first one, even though the first one, like give or take, people didn't. I think it might not have done as well. But the fact that they've gone away and gone, right, we need to make this a better film. We've seen the mistakes they had. Even though the box office did well, we still know we can make a better film. And the fact they had that passion to go away and make a better film, knowing, because normally if you make so much money on the first one, you may not be inclined to go away and try to make something different. You may be inclined to go, you know what, we actually do the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, and they didn't. They went like, you know what, we've got to change this, make it leaner, make it a bit smarter, make it funnier, embrace the bits that certain audience members like the relationship between Venom and Lily.
And while I agree with all of that, I will push back on the fact that even if they didn't do all of that, it still would have made the same money.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why.
Go.
Godzilla versus Kong. That's why. That was a terrible movie. The only thing that was good about it was literally the fights between Kong and Godzilla. Like the rest of the movie was trash.
But
as
had
Liam
they have
would say.
done the siege...
Let me finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
Go
The
on.
rest of the movie was trash.
Yeah.
Everyone actually knew that going in. Even the reviews in the first weekend said the same thing.
But people went to see it because they wanted to see Kong hit Godzilla in the face.
Right,
That's
let
why.
me finish.
Go,
Let me finish, Damien.
Go.
Let me finish. Because you just literally answered my point.
Yeah.
Everyone knew the villain was Carnage.
Yep.
Everyone knows
Yep.
that Carnage and Venom are synonymous. Everyone wants to see that clash with Venom and Carnage, just like they want to see. Don't talk.
Go.
Let me finish. Just like they want to see Godzilla versus Kong. No matter how trash the movie is, they want to see that face-off. That is why it would have made the money.
To go back to that point,
Right.
had they done the same CGI mess they did in the first film,
Right.
would you have gone like, yeah, it's worth seeing that fight? You need
Probably not. But that's not our argument, is it?
No, but then you would have...
That's not our argument. Because even with that CGI fight, it still made that money, didn't it?
Yeah, but that's because it was the first one coming out.
No, but there's word of mouth, Damien. So there's word of mouth. So we know, for instance, if the film is trash or there was something that wasn't, as we're seeing with Eternals now, right? People, but what bad word of mouth
It just
is
actually got
making.
a really good UK box office. It's nearly breaking Shang-Chi.
But that's in the UK,
Because Europe, 7.6 million open.
but not in the US. It's not doing great
US,
in the US.
yes, but if it does well globally, it could beat US.
Well, but we know that there's films where bad word of mouth has trashed the box office of that film.
Yeah, but the lovers of Venom loved it. If they'd have gone and seen Carnage and the first people that
Actually, a lot of Venom lovers didn't love it.
Okay, but the ones that did, had they have gone and seen this one and they didn't bother to put the effort into the fight, they might come and go, you know what? I was looking forward to this fight so much, but they just didn't bother.
But it still would have made the money. That's my point. Because a lot of people that watched this Venom, the first Venom, said the same thing. But it still made 856 million.
But going back to our
This
first
is my
topic,
point.
Going back to our first topic, it's a bit of a hypothetical.
Nah.
Because
Because the first film was the proof. The first film was the proof. Literally 856 million. How many people, you've got to remember, 856 million is a fuckload of, sorry, I swear, is a shitload of money. Still swallow. It's a lot of money.
Would you edit this?
Right? So it's taken a few goes at the cinema to get that. That's what I'm saying. If despite the bad word of mouth, because you got to remember the critic score. You've got to remember even the audience score wasn't great for Venom 1, and yet people still went. This is my point. There's like, and how much more would that have been, even if the film was trash, with Carnage versus Venom? This is the point that I'm making.
No,
I take your point. Your points are completely valid. But my argument would be because of like Godzilla versus Kong, because people, you got to remember, you're talking about nerds like me. I didn't care that film was going to be trash. I knew that film was going to be trash. Even the review said it was going to be trash before I went to that cinema. Yeah. But I wanted to see that fight. I didn't care. Do you know what I mean? And most nerds like me would have been the same for Venom versus Carnage.
Okay, so here's my question to you as a nerd of that, right? Had you gone and seen Kong and Godzilla, knowing the rest of the film was trash, but then the fight was the worst thing you've ever seen, would you not have been vocal about it afterwards? That was crap. I was looking forward to this as a kid. I've just seen it. It ruined my expectations.
If it was really crap, yes.
Yeah.
But I didn't see. Even though I know we're cutting you out. Don't be sad. Don't be sad,
bro.
Don't be sad,
bro.
Don't be sad.
I'm all right.
No, but even though that fight was not great, I wouldn't say it was that bad that I didn't enjoy it. Still.
I probably need to go back and watch it again, but I just know from my first experience of it, I wasn't. It had the sequel been like that, I probably would have gone to cinema and watch it.
Right.
That's just me personally. Had the sequel been in the same vein, I've been now. The fact they changed it up made me want to go and see it. The trailers pulled me. You know what? They've made something different with this.
Okay.
The hype around it, the conversations, the interviews. I was like, that's what drew me in. You being in it obviously helped, but I was like, yeah, I'll go and see it. Then what do you think?
What do you think, Mr. Rock?
I think I've switched off. You lot keep talking.
Come on, Mr. Rock.
Switched off. I'm done now.
Yeah.
I'm done. Like and subscribe. Fuck it.
Well, what do you think? Do you think that Venom 2 will surpass the first Venom? Do you think it will get between 600 and 700 million? Do you think it will be released in China? And how much do you think it will get if it is released in China? Please let us know in the comments down below. And with that, the show is over. So, let me say to you, Damien, where can the audience holler at you?
You can find me hiding from Larry's Venom predictions is where you can find me. You can find me on Twitter at Damien Ashley Act. You can find me on Instagram at Damien Ashley. You can find me embarking, begging for money. But yeah, bar that, you can find me on this show.
And Mr.
You can
Rock,
find me here, or with Damien or Larry. That's it.
That's it. Nowhere else. Nowhere else.
Okay
Nowhere
then.
Or on the street.
Yeah. Every day.
Every day.
And you can find me on Twitter at Larry Olubamiwo or on Instagram at Larry Olubamiwo. So yeah, we are up to 242 subscribers.
Yeah.
So well done all of us, and thank you guys. Please keep supporting, keep watching. You know, we've started another segment, as you saw, with the Blade 4K review. We're going to be reviewing the second Blade, and bringing you a lot more content and just different things coming. So stay tuned and please keep supporting. Would you like to add anything else?
No.
Would you?
He's done.
Okay.
I'm done.
So from all of us,
Bye.
Adieu. Yeah. French now.
Press the button.
What I'm with you?